Hey everyone, this is Shiv, and I'm super thrilled to have all of you here today. Together with my fantastic team, we had a privilege of working with over 50 amazing clients in the hospitality industry, and we have learned so much along the way. Today, we are going to dive deep into the fascinating world of cross domain data, explore some of the challenges that are unique to the hospitality sector, and figure out how we can turn those challenges into opportunities. I'm going to introduce our founder, Os. Over to you.
Thanks very much, Shiv. I really look forward to today's session. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm so happy that we have the entire team joining us today. I know you've been working very hard, and you talk to so many people in the industry, you listen to their pain points, and today it's a little bit about that. We really wanted to prepare a session where we can discuss what's keeping them awake at night, right? Especially the marketing managers, the revenue managers at independent hotels or even bigger hotel chains, because it's a challenging task. They have so many other things happening, and honestly, I don't think that marketing attribution is necessarily at the top of their list, but it should be, and we're going to discuss why today. It's a very interesting time. As we know, everything is AI powered these days, and user privacy is becoming increasingly important. And we also know that most hotels have a challenge with direct bookings. They are very dependent on online travel agencies, and the OTAs are charging a lot of commissions. They're now charging advertising fees, and they're not making life very easy for hotels. So, direct bookings, of course, is the answer or part of the answer to decrease the dependency on OTAs. Because look, we know that OTAs are not disappearing. They're here to stay. They're part of the business. But we also know that for most hotels, the independence of operating their own websites, doing their own bookings, and managing that relationship with the customers, with their guests, is very, very important. And we know that our role is, a small part of that, but it's still an important role. And I think today, when we get into the discussion, it's going to become clearer. And I truly look forward to hearing all the discussions today. So thanks for organizing.
Let me introduce Zhengfei here, our CTO at Plumfind. She'll quickly explain what are the challenges we are doing. So, Zhengfei, over to you.
Hello, I'm Jinfei, the CTO of Plumfind. And right now we are helping with more than 50 hotel customers on dealing with the marketing campaign and help with them with the Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics meta tracking. We found that a lot of customers have like a problem with cross-domain tracking, and we think that we can propose a better solution focus on those kind of issues. I think this workshop is helpful for some of the hotels that have the similar issues.
This is going to have fun, definitely, definitely. Rakshit is our design lead, and he takes care of all the creative elements of Plumfind, along with the hospitality clients that we serve.
Thank you, Shiv. So I'm Rakshit. I'm the chief designer at Plumfind. So as you know, we are helping about 50 hotels with their server-side tracking issues, but we are also helping hotels with their conversion rate optimizations. So on this side, we are helping them improve the customer journey, and when the users come to the hotel website, we are helping them convert them even more and smoothen the journey. So I'll start with a quick story. Recently, a friend of mine was booking a hotel for his anniversary. It was like a weekend getaway with his partner, and he was just telling me how the hotel booking process was so confusing. He said it felt like he was not going to a hotel, instead of he was going to a maze. So I could relate to it, because since we are working with the conversion rate issues with the hotels. So I'll just tell you
Yeah.
how important UI and UX is. So UI helps you get the attention, but UX is what retains the attention. And yes, you can get people on the website, but to retain them and smoothen the journey and help them convert and become your customer is something that also involves a lot of challenges. So we'll have a quick workshop on this later, but for now this is all, and let's get on with the session.
Thank you so much, Rakshit. Welcome to this workshop. Let's go to Arushi, our software developer at Plumfind.
Thank you, Shiv. Hello, everyone. I'm a software developer at Plumfind, and I work on like server side tracking solutions on different, like looking at various cloud platforms that it can be implemented on, as well as looking at solutions to machine learning problems on again on cloud platforms, and as well as perhaps if needed on premises. And so like today we would be showing like what happens in cross domain tracking and how consent modes affect the cross domain tracking. And I look forward to the session. Thank
Welcome,
you.
Arushi. Looking forward to have a lot of insightful details from your side. Looking forward for Ali. Hey, Ali. Quickly, maybe we can discuss more about like your intro, what you're doing, what kind of challenges you are facing.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Ali Ilgaz, and I'm working as ML engineer at Plumfind, and we are looking for ML solutions for uh, ML models. Actually, we try to apply the ML models for the problems that different sector face, and also I'm really excited for what we will see, and in the demo we will see some fancy stuff thanks to Arushi and Jingfei, and yeah, I really look forward to see those.
Welcome. Thank you so much for the intro. So, I'll like let me start on this particular thing. As Rakshit shared a story with us, I do also have a story to tell. I was having a call with a person who takes care of the hotel, and I was discussing with him like what are the things stopping you to advertise more on and have a direct clients on your website, and why you are giving so much commission on for to the OTAs. One of the biggest challenge he mentioned is because OTAs have a better user experience. I said, why you cannot implement those things? The first question that arose to my mind. Then he mentioned OTAs also give lot of varieties and more clients and more customers. Rather, I might not be able to gather those number of people from my website only. Another thing he mentioned, there are a lot of also features on the OTAs that I cannot implement as a hotel owner. I said, why? So he said, if one day if I have more customers, more direct bookings, I pay less in the commissions, I might be able to think about, okay, I should improve more user experience. So he directed that particular thing into, first let me have more direct customers, then I'll think about how I can optimize, because right now I'm using my website as just a landing page that we are present on the internet. But as a business owner, if you're a hotel and if you are advertising, it's really really important to have a fully functional user experienced have kind of website. Why I said this? Because as Plumfind, we are not only dealing with the tracking and reporting data, we are also helping hospitality, especially hospitality sector, for improving their user experience on the website. Hotels are 90% getting customers from OTAs, and only 10% they are getting from direct on their websites. It is important now to have a good balance of direct customers, and we are not saying fully cut off the OTAs. That's not an agenda of this workshop. Our idea is to have more dependency on your business. So that is something that we are going to discuss. Coming back to this particular session, I have a question that comes to my mind, like, have you ever checked your Google Ads or Google Analytics and wondered like why it is showing less conversions but you are having more conversions on your website, but your analytics are showing less revenue, less bookings? This is the immediate problem that lot of businesses face, and we are going to discuss more in detail about like why they face it and how, as Plumfind expertise, we are solving these issues with technical implementations. The key talking points of this session will be, since hotel marketing and hotel businesses have multiple domain sections and multiple departments of businesses. Let's say they have guest data, they have loyalty programs, they have preferences section where they want to understand what user is doing on their website. You, as a business owner, you should know this, right? And the last thing is what kind of challenges they are facing on the website, let's say. So I these things comes to my mind when I especially talk about the hospitality industry and the user experience, what kind of data they want to collect. So we'll start with the guest data, loyalty programs, and everything should be aligned in a Google Analytics dashboard or any analytics dashboard that you are using, so that you have a clear picture of what you are doing in the business and how you can make better business decisions with this data. That really helps. So this is the overall how we are going to take this lead. So we can start with the O's if you want to add few pointers on the challenges in the cross domain, especially we can call it a multiple domains, cross domain and multiple domains, where hotel websites don't have just their website, they are integrated with the booking engine, they are integrated
Exactly.
with the loyalty programs, and somehow they are connected with integrated with lot of domains, but at the end they want a data in one place. So if
Yes.
you want to give some light on
Yeah.
this.
I mean, it does sound complicated, doesn't it? When we think about it that way, it's not just about managing your own hotel website, but it's also about the integrations to a booking engine, for example, like Synexis or Fair Harbor or Amadeus, and then being able to manage all that complexity when it comes to bookings. You want to make sure that if the room is available, it is actually available on the booking engine, or that the payment gateway is working. So there's a lot of intricacies of the booking engine set up by itself. And most hotels, of course, concentrate on that initially, but then they realize that they're not getting the marketing data that they need, even if the booking engine is working flawlessly in terms of making reservations. So the guest doesn't see anything wrong in this picture. They're able to make their reservations, which is, of course, very important so that the revenues are being generated. But it becomes a bit of a nightmare for many marketing managers when they're trying to justify the budgets that they're using for advertising, because they need to be able to show that attribution. You mentioned Google Ads. They could be using Google Ads, they might be using email marketing, they might be using Meta, all sorts of sources. But whatever it is that they're using, whatever it is that a hotel is investing in, they want to be able to see the impact of that on revenue, right? This is like a universal problem. It doesn't matter where your hotel is. As long as you have online bookings, you are doing some sort of a marketing, you're running certain campaigns, and you want to make sure that you can track the performance of those campaigns. So what we did as a team is to try to break down this complexity into smaller chunks so that we can observe almost like in a laboratory environment, if you will. So I think today that's one of the things that we would like to share with you. And there's two main modes. I think maybe this is one way to think about it. You could have another domain, a secondary domain, that's your booking engine. So when somebody is booking on your hotel, you may be able to, you can actually see the user experience moving to that secondary domain where the booking is completed. Or you may have what's called an iframe, which, as far as the user is concerned, keeps them on your hotel website. They don't seem to be going somewhere else, but in actuality, they are in the background. They're actually doing this. So today we want to demonstrate these two main ways of how booking engines work, and more importantly, the impact of this on marketing data. So maybe Jingfei could show us that little lab environment that we created that will help. Hopefully, that will help our viewers better understand how these two main methods work.
For sure. Looking forward for Zingfei. Zingfei, quickly, you can take a lead on this.
Thank you, Shiv. So as I said, different booking engine have different method to link hotel website with their booking pages. So there for Google Analytics and Google tag manager tracking purpose, some of the way that the booking engine linked to the hotel website is currently unable to track. What I mean is the iframe. So here we have a demo site to explain it. So like if you here's our example. So right now I click this quick booking button, and then a booking page pop up, like so you can book a room over here. But the thing is, if you notice, the URL of the in the address bar doesn't change at all. So if I repeat again, so you see it doesn't change. So from the user point of view, they always stay within this website, and there's no redirection. So, but whatever they booked, whatever the booking reservation steps they did, is stay within this pop-up window. Technically, we call it iframe. So the thing is, any user behavior within this kind of iframe is currently
Sorry,
unable to
uh,
track.
sorry to cut you, Zingfei. Can you tell, explain quickly about to our users, viewers, what exactly iframe is? Like a quick
Of
understanding
course,
of. Yeah.
iframe is an website element structure. So what
Okay.
it does is, as you see it, when you click a link on the website, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you click the rooms, you see the
Yes.
URL, the parse, at least the parse is changed from the main site to the rooms page. So there's a changes on the address bar. But when you do some book, but if with an iframe, the address bar itself doesn't change, but you can see a new element rendered on the page. So from the user point of view, usually people cannot tell if some content on the website is within the iframe or outside of iframe. For
Like, is
them,
it
they make
is it sorry to cut you. Like, is it important for a hotel website or a business owner to implement iframe, or they can use other technical
um,
implementation?
usually they have no choice. It's
Oh,
depend on the booking
okay,
engine. So
okay,
it's depend on how they link their website, they link their hotel website with the booking system. So
okay,
if for some of the booking system like Fair Harbor, they usually put the how you included the booking system on your website is using iframe. That means okay, you like this one. Sorry, like this one. So you cannot tell there's because you cannot tell is actually instead of one website, you are actually already go to the second website, because there's no address bar like this to show you okay, you are currently in another website. Um,
so
but
I'm guessing this is how we call it a cross domain thing, like once we
it's
go
not
to.
cross domain because
Okay,
your domain doesn't change. You
correct.
still stay in this website, but the thing
Okay,
is, there is one portion of your current page is like is consists of another website. So
okay,
it's like embedding a second website within your current website. So the thing is, like if within the iframe it can display the address bar. The address bar the address bar of this website is totally different from this one. The parse may different, and the domain, the URL itself may be different, totally different. So, but for the user, again, for the user point of view, you cannot tell the difference. But what makes the difference is anything you did. For example, I click a button, I scroll the page. All this kind of users' actions cannot catch by the Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics of the main website. So so the thing is, when we tracking the user's behavior using the tools like Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics, we usually including the tracking script, tracking pixel on the main website. But if the user goes to the embedded iframe website, then anything the users did is the Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics are unable to track. So you are losing the user's action. You are losing the tracking information.
Okay.
What like within the iframe is here. So but the thing is, usually for the booking engine that they ask you to include the booking system within the iframe, then it means you are losing tracking information for the booking, for the revenue tracking. So if the user places an order within this kind of iframe structure, it cannot be tracked. It cannot be catched by Google Analytics, and it won't show or reflect on your Google Analytics or Meta or LinkedIn report.
So we
So
will be just we'll be just seeing the final booking number there, and not these actions, what kind of dates they are selecting and everything.
the only way you can see the user's transaction is maybe go to the booking engine dashboard and get
Yes.
the
Okay.
actual transaction record. But how like all the other information, for example, when people make the reservation or make the purchase, where the users come from, like from which ad campaign, or they directly enter the URL of your website in their address bar, or they Google your hotel and make the reservation, you cannot get this information um, because it's all like this kind of traffic source information are all comes with the revenue tracking. Is
Okay.
if you lose the tracking of the revenue, then the revenue attribution is also cannot be tracked.
Yeah.
So
So you are
um,
saying, from iframe itself, from iframe dashboard, itself is hard to connect this data with the GA4
currently
analytics.
it's unable
As
to track it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe one way to think about this is to understand that most of these tracking systems work on a session basis. So a user session is when someone loads a web page
Yeah.
and the contents of the web page loads and they start interacting with the elements of that page. If it's
Hmm.
an iframe, the iframe can have a separate Google Analytics configuration, if you will, and another session would start there. So suddenly one user using an iframe is now part of two separate sessions. And you could track them separately. You could put the, let's say, Google Tag Manager code in that iframe, but then linking those two sessions becomes a huge nightmare with iframes. But as
Okay.
Jinpei was saying, I mean, it's not the hotel's fault. They most of the time they don't have a choice in this matter. The booking engine technology, if it's using iframes, then the hotel is limited by that. And again, most of the time, marketing managers don't necessarily think about the implication of the specific technology that the booking engines use. But sometimes it's much more difficult to solve this problem if they already invested in the booking engine. So it's good to know the
Correct.
alternatives before the investment is made.
Okay.
Yeah, but even though we cannot track anything within the iframe, but some of the from time to time we have a way around. For example, after you make the booking reservation, you can there could be a confirmation booking a confirmation page or thank you page, but the um, but the confirmation page or thank you page, we can make it outside the iframe, which means, okay, if you once you made the reservation, you click confirm booking, then you can make the button redirect to a certain page in this main website. Then you create a separate URL with as maybe slash confirmations or slash thank you, and in that confirmation or thank you page, you send all the uh, transaction information to Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics. In that way, at least you can the thank you page or confirmation information is within the main session. So is when you
I've
start from.
I have also seen like a lot of businesses do this scenario of thank you slash transaction ID in their URL. So every session it catches a transaction ID and it converts that into a one transaction. So is it also applicable nowadays in current tech platforms or the iframes kind of technology that business are using? They does they also do this kind of transaction ID and catching this from analytics?
Those kind of in the confirmation or thank you page, you can custom your code to send this all the transaction ID or values or currency information to Google Tag Manager or other tracking platform. But the thing is, if you want to get some detailed information about, for example, when people may add different rooms in their cart, or they are hesitating on selecting different type of room and they keep adding and removing different rooms. This kind of process, if the booking system is within the iframe, then you are not tracking those kind of information. If you're interested, what you can get is, oh, like suppose you have a confirmation or thank you page, and all you can get is the information that sent from the confirmation or thank you page. So if
Okay.
you really want the user's hesitation procedure, their how they change their mind, you cannot track because it's the oldest behavior within the iframe.
Yeah.
Um,
I just wanted to say, I think the message here is if your hotel website happens to have an iframe as part of your booking engine, you're okay. We're not saying that you have to go back and change everything. We're happy to work with you within the limitations of that iframe environment and get you as much of the information as we can. But as Jingfei was saying, I mean, it's a bit of a black box. What happens during the booking process in terms of room preferences, other user actions will be invisible, or they will be visible in some other Google Analytics property, but you won't be able to link them to those purchase numbers. But as you were saying, maybe they can get the transaction ID, they can get some sort of a revenue information. So there's still certain things that can be done, but overall, the user flow will be more fragmented compared to a cross-domain solution. And if you like, we can showcase that right now. I think Arushi is
Yeah.
waiting to show us some of the more maybe cross-domain related settings that can be shown in this very same hotel lab environment.
Yeah, I'm to be honest, like I'm really interested to know what percentage of what kind of data, let's say a normal user is like they are losing, the hotel users, hotel owners are losing, and how after implementing such solutions that we are developing on, that we are working on, um, after that what kind of scenario it will be then. Arushi, over to you. Looking forward to have this interesting demo on this.
Thank you, Shiv, for that. To explain better like what happens in cross domain tracking, we'd have to explain I would explain also how cookie consent affects that. It's also the primary reason that cross domain tracking kind of breaks when you switch between websites, like the hotel website and the booking website. So as Jingfei was explaining, this is our demo website that we created for to simulate a hotel uh, website environment. And what I will do right now is say accept all. So when I do accept all, that means I'm allowing the website to do cross domain tracking. And what I mean by cross domain tracking is if you see in the URL, I will go ahead and click the booking URL, switch to the booking website. So in the URL, you can see something like GL and GA. So they are basically your Google Analytics cookies that allow basically the user when they click accept all, they're allowing the websites to do like track them from the hotel website to the booking website, and that also means that the session remains consistent in this case. So uh, like the marketers or the hotel owners can actually track that okay, the user has gone from the hotel website, they're clicking the booking, going to the booking website, and they're doing the bookings for the like rooms.
So you mean like the
Yes.
first party data and the the GAID that considers as a third party data as usual. Now the
Yes.
first party data will understand that this third party data is not a third party data, it's a first party data only, that, and so that the data can be conversions can be better. So is it a right way to understand this particular thing?
Like as you mentioned, the GL and GA4 are like not considered as third party. So they would in the GA4 report, you would actually see, for example, there's the client side. You can see like maybe in the like for example in the ref in the like in the J4 report, you would be able to see that okay, the user has gone from the hotel website to the booking website. It is only one session. Usually what will happen is if the user says reject all, it will consider it as two sessions in the J4 report. And if you look at say like the user, I'm not able to show it right now properly, but yeah, in the session ID, GA session ID, you'll only see one. But if you say reject all, there is a possibility that you will see two session IDs over here. So in that sense, the tracking is broken because like the user is basically not allowing you to track. So in this environment, like now I'll do reject all, and what I'll do is I'll go and click the booking website link. So in the URL, what you should not be able to see is the GL and GA4 cookies. So that means that the user is not getting tracked between the two websites. And also another thing to keep note of is that the browser settings also do affect how the hotel owners would be able to track the users.
You picked a
Um,
very interesting point about the consent mode, what happens when someone clicks on accept all and reject all. So if you can quickly help us to understand the changes that we see.
Yeah, so right now, what I had done is I said reject all in the hotel website and I clicked the link
Okay.
for the booking website. Now, over here, if you see in the URL, you don't see any GL or GA cookies because we have done reject all. So it's basically not allowing you to use those cookies to track the user between the two websites. So what in that case, what happens is the session is broken. So when the session is broken, when the data is going to JA4, it is considering it as two sessions. It's not considering it as one session. So in that case, like the hotel owner or the marketers will not be able to track that okay, the user that was on the hotel website went to the booking website and actually did a purchase. So again, those purchase events are getting lost somewhere. Like they're not able to be very consistent. They're not able to even understand that okay, the user is coming from a third party, say advertisements or something like that. So like that entire flow wherein the user comes from a third party source, goes to the hotel website, and then goes to the booking website to do a purchase is broken. Whereas if the user had done accept all, that link is not broken basically. And so a lot of times, right, currently if I even go to my browser settings, for example, and I go to privacy, so you can see it actually, like the standard protection, not even the strict protection, like the standard basic protection actually says it includes total cookie protection. And if you go and click the link, and this is like Firefox, so it's Mozilla, and if you go and read up on like how they are doing like the total cookie protection, they basically say that yeah, you cannot, they cannot track the users between two
and
domains.
and why
So if
is
I
it a
say like, yeah, you can.
sorry, I was
uh,
just asking, and why, like, is this a country law,
um,
like is there any laws between it, like why they are doing this? There are a browser, they should do their job. Why they are doing like
uh,
implementing all these cookies?
yeah, it
Yes,
also
Adi.
comes down to like new laws that have come into
Okay.
place. For
Okay.
example, the GDPR, European laws, which basically
Okay.
don't they want to basically protect the user data more from companies. They
Okay.
So like one of the things is the cookie consent tools, or other companies that allow you to use their tools to implement cookie consent on your websites. They follow those laws, the GDPR laws, and
Okay. So
other countries. Yeah.
we are saying like they are not doing on purpose. They have to do it. This is a mandatory thing that every browser or ad, they have to follow this, right? Like, okay. And
Well,
that,
Yes.
maybe
yes.
maybe one way to think about this is also increased demand for user privacy. I think as
Yes.
individuals, when we're booking a hotel room or doing online shopping or using our favorite
Yeah.
social media platform, there's now more of an expectation of privacy.
Yeah.
And I think in this particular case, Arushi was showing us how it works with Firefox. But as we know, with Edge, with Chrome, with some of the other leading browsers, the trend is the same. So there's increased emphasis on user privacy. And we didn't really discuss what a cookie is from a technical point of view, but maybe the way to think about it is it's some small text file that's attached to the device that you're using when you're using a website. So if that file, if that information is blocked by any means, by the browser or by maybe with the consent pop-up, then marketing analytics stops working. Maybe I
Okay.
should say traditional marketing analytics stops working because it's based on the client side cookie. And
Yeah.
again, client in this case means the device that you're using. People hear these terms, but they don't necessarily know what they mean. So cookie simply is just some information about your session, and client happens to be the device that you're using.
Okay, so my question is like, since every companies or Google implementing these kind of restrictions in their browsers so that they can, we cannot, save cookies and everything. We are also talking about server side where we are offering them a server where and you can use you can save your cookies there. Is it legal? Like, is it legal because
Well, I mean,
we are hacking that particular system that they.
but I wouldn't say that you're hacking the system. I think the importance here is what they call the spirit of the law. So GDPR or California's user privacy laws, it's all about respecting this expectation of privacy of all of us. Again, this is not a hotel specific discussion, but again, the server side tracking can be a very powerful solution for collecting information, but in Plumfind, we are very mindful of all of these privacy laws, and we take great pride in making sure that we abide by those laws. So the idea here is not hacking a solution. It's really more about trying to do the best we can to help the marketing managers, revenue managers within the limitations of these user privacy laws. One good example for this would be the IP, the Internet Protocol address of the user. When they come visit your hotel website, they have to disclose their IP to the other server to be able to load this information, load the information of a web page. They could be using a virtual private network, a VPN, or other means to hide the IP. So it's possible to hide it to a certain extent, but most people don't. But in GA4 reports, Google Analytics reports, you cannot find IP because it's removed to protect user privacy by default.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
the example is with server-side tracking, we can actually have captured this information, but we don't want to keep it. But the only reason we would keep it would be to do an aggregate analysis. So to look at the IPs as a group, and we would never look at them individually, because we're not in the business of spying on individual users, right? The idea here is to be able to gain insights, valuable insights for marketers, so that they can do better segmentation of their customers. So it's really more about understanding the demographics, the interests of their customers, their guests as a group, and not to try to spy on them individually.
Interesting pointers. Like, okay, so when you said within the limitations, server side somehow can solve this issue. So what can I expect? Like, will it be completely, and or there will still be something that you might not be able to, or marketers might not be able to see, but at least they will be have a better analytics in there. So, like, can you please clarify this?
If I were to summarize where we are today, with our lab environment that I showed you, or we showed you, it's still very much work in progress when it comes to revenue attribution, because being able to see the impact of those initial marketing channels on the actual bookings is still a bit of a challenge, even with server-side tracking. But when it comes to user engagement, I think we're almost there. As Arushi was mentioning, instead of two separate sessions with server-side, you're sort of uniting that user session and you're able to see what's happening. And again, within GDPR, within all the expectation of privacy that the users are having, we actually have more control in terms of marketing data, because we can process that further before sharing it with any third party. And that would mean protecting the user's information even further. But of course, that gives us more responsibility too, because now with server side, we're able to collect more information than we were able to with just Google Analytics itself.
And like talking about the more information that you're going to collect on dedicated server for that client, can we also, like, are you going to send that data back to analytics, or are you going to just extract those information and create a inside dashboard for user? Like, how will it work? Like, okay, I understand now ki Google Analytics will show much better data, but you are collecting that information on the server. So is there any way you are also helping in other ways?
Well, that's the $1 million question, Shiv, for sure. And that's actually what we're really excited about. What we're doing right now, as Arushi said, is using different cloud platforms like AWS and Google Cloud to create a server and then send some of this information to Google Analytics. So as far as the marketing managers are concerned, they just see the same Google Analytics report. Nothing has changed. It's just now there's more information, more visibility with server side. And we will show you some examples of that. We have some samples for you. But what we're really excited about is being able to use artificial intelligence methods to work on the data that we're now collecting, because now we have access to, if you will, raw data that we can process ourselves. And we think that's a bit of a gold mine potentially for marketers. But again, the solution here is not to throw more data to marketing managers. The solution is to be able to analyze that data for them, to extract the insights that they need, and then present it to them. And this can be done within Google Analytics itself. In other words, we can process the data using AI and then send it to Google Analytics. create some custom reports for them, or we could create another dashboard based on their preference.
We can also like perhaps present and show like a report of approximately 15 days in the month of May,
Interesting. Yeah.
where we can like actually see how much data is collected on the client side, or more like how much of revenue is being collected on the client side and the server side.
Okay.
So as you can see here, it is for again our demo website, and we are looking at the time period of May 18th to May 31st, where we did a couple of tests. And what we can see on the client side is that the revenue, total revenue, is $640. And we can see a referral as the source medium, meaning like say third party advertisements or something like that. And then a majority of it is not set. But if you see the number of sessions or the active users, it is sessions is 22 and active users is 19. When we
Okay.
look at the server side, we can see the sessions are 38 and users are 27. And then you look at the total revenue, it is like $3,680. So that means that the amount of revenue data that's being captured on the server side is much higher compared to the client side. And one of the reasons also is because of the browser settings. As I was mentioning before, they have the tracking, they are increasingly improving their tracking prevention settings, and so it's becoming much harder to gather revenue data on the client side. But on the server side, it's far more better in terms of the amount of revenue it's capturing. And also you can see the source medium. You can actually see that there is more data being captured in terms of like what the actual source medium is for the websites, meaning source
So you're
medium
saying
meaning like the third
segmentation is
party.
so you're saying segmentation is
If
much better after that's implementation.
Yes, and like the not set obviously is quite higher on both the client and server side. And one of the reasons it can be is because of how long it takes for the data to reach the Google Analytics report. So sometimes it can be that because depending on how fast it reaches the GA4 report, GA4 will assign it to not set. So in that sense, the referral is getting lost somewhere when it is getting
I was
populated in the GA4 report.
I was reading one
Yeah,
article where it's about analytics only, and they mentioned like Google Analytics itself
yes.
take 24 to 48 hours to segregate the data into like into the bucket of
Yeah.
exact where source and medium they are coming from. So, okay, got it. I am excited, but tell me, once you implement this solution, how much time will it take for hotel owner to see the changes in
Mhm.
their website? Like, is it quickly after, just after implementation, after 24 hours they'll be able to see, or it takes time to understand, or like how this function happens once you implement this solution?
So, from the tests that we have done in real time, when we do the real time overview in the Google Analytics, we can see in real time where there's a difference in how much data is gathered from on the client side and the server side. So, data like in terms of say like page events, if you go really
Mm-hmm.
basic, we talk about like page views or like events like clicks or purchase events, that sort of thing. We see in the real time report that yeah, on the server side, much more data, much more of that data is getting collected compared to client side. And again, one of the major reasons is the consent mode that the user is selecting, as well as the browser settings, how strict it is. In previous tests that we did see, for example, if you are using Microsoft Edge, when you go to the browser settings, you can actually see the tags, the tag manager tags that are blocked by the
Mm-hmm.
browser. You can
Oh,
actually visibly see that in the settings. And
Really?
so, like,
In the
yes, you
Microsoft
can.
Edge browser? Okay.
Yes. So I can perhaps like show it if you would like.
I think we
If
discussed this in our
such
last session. Maybe if we can,
we did.
we will add. Yeah, yeah. So I'll viewers, I'll add the previous link in the in the video so that you can also take a look to the video,
Yeah.
previous video that we have shot. Just wanted, like, as we discussed about I want to direct this conversation towards our ML engineer Ali. He's working with a lot of applications, AI applications in different domains. But right now in Plumfind, he have worked, to be honest. And right now in AI hospitality, Ali, what are the most promising AI applications you are seeing? And what's your opinion on this? Like, if you see as a machine learning perspective, and since this, I'm not sure the hype or not, but definitely it is here, and it's better to have more discussion about how this is changing in hospitality, AI and machine learnings, and what's the future that you see, Ali?
Yeah, thanks, Shiv. Um, yeah, actually, I don't want to hype as well, but like, to be honest, the task that you can identify, like whichever task that you can identify, all like for all of them, AI agents or ML models can do those tasks as well. So it's totally depends on the customer needs, actually, hotels needs. And yeah, like, the first phase is the most one of the most important thing is getting the data. And thanks to the our current tracking system, we can get more data from clients. So when it comes to the, like, let's say, second phase, how to use that data, actually we can use that data for example, creating uh, marketing video instead of, for example, there's a currently, like, Google published VO3. And yeah, like, and also I believe that there will be more of them. And instead of hiring some actors and actresses and director, and buying some expensive camera, etc., you can just give a detailed prompt, and you can create some advertisement, like, videos for.
I think it's a great thing that Ilgaz mentioned the videos and the power of generative AI for marketing. Shiv, actually, I have a little surprise for you. We did prepare a promotional video that uses VO3 for a hotel customer, and we're going to share it with you right now. And let's see what the viewers will think about it.
So Ali, you mentioned about VO3, what exactly it is, and how we are using it in a hospitality environment, and is there any suggestions you want to make, like as you mentioned about models, actors, good cameras? So if you want to add quickly on this.
Yeah, like, as I mentioned, actually, instead of choosing the best actor, best director, or hiring the best agency, you can just try to create best prompt for getting marketing video for your hotel. And it doesn't take so much time. Within a couple of minutes, you can get the video. And uh, yeah, like, as a, that's another difference between getting a video from marketing agency. Actually, you are able to change the video. You are able to adjust according to your needs. And yeah, that's a great thing, actually. And yeah, like, in addition to video, as I said, there are actually millions of ways to use AI. And yeah, like, for example, for demand forecasting, you can use it. Like, depends on the weather. Yeah, like, depends on the, let's say, season. And even calendar of the school. The demand has changed. So also we can come up with some price suggestion dynamically, price
I
suggestions
see.
on that.
Okay.
And also, yeah, like nowadays AI agents are really popular. And like, again, as I said before, if you can identify a task, then AI can do that task as well. So AI agents in here actually, they are kind of fake humans. So with AI agents, we can do, for example, instead of calling uh, um, kiosk for a reservation on hotel, normally you have to wait, because in that reservation site there are just one or two people, and they handle with multiple tasks at the same time. So you can just call the number, and you can do whatever you want with that AI agent, and within minute again you can just make your reservation.
Just interesting point, Ali.
Yeah.
Like, as you mentioned, the AI applications, let's say demand forecasting, that might be helpful for a hotel. But I'm like, my guess is previously, like 10 years back, or maybe 5 years back, or maybe 2 years back, this demand forecasting itself, if we take it as a technology, it might be expensive for a lot of business. Like, only big companies are doing it because it is expensive. Do you think because of AI and latest tech, it is getting uh, easy to adapt on those solutions, quickly understand, and also focus on, because big companies do have those big systems where they are understanding the demands, understanding what is going to happen with the help of data that they are collecting. So do you think because of the AI and the latest tech, it is getting cheaper and affordable for a lot of businesses, regard? And to be honest, like, I want to have I'm interested to have a conversation on these application. Let's say demand forecasting could be our another discussion, because it is helpful. As we discussed, we are collecting the data on server, we are sending the data on GA4, but we have more data. What we can do, if we are collecting those that particular data for few months, for few weeks, it's a good application to think about of transforming those that particular data by the patterns, and see what is going to happen in the coming weeks or coming months. So what do you think, Ali? And after that, we'll quickly discuss quick things, and then we'll wrap this up. So yes, over to you, Ali.
Yeah, as you said, like years before, it was expensive thing to implement, because mainly, yeah, like, actually, I before all of that, I could say that the maybe one of the best thing of AI is AI increase the democracy between the companies, because yeah,
Mhm.
like these implementations right now, there are like open source version of those implementations.
Yeah.
And yeah, the main thing with open source is it is free. So actually, the only cost comes from maybe storage, and also as we,
Customization according to
yeah,
your
like
needs.
customization. And yeah, we help on that part as well, because yeah, like in the beginning, as Oz mentioned, we help on AWS part, like that is cloud part as well. So yeah, so the costs are decreased uh,
So it is
compared
much
to
more
still years.
convenient
Yeah,
nowadays for businesses to quickly
yeah,
adapt latest tech without spending a huge amount for creating that systems. And AI, we can see AI in hospitality in this way, rather than thinking of replacing or optimizing those things. It's more better to have those kind of mindset where things are getting cheaper, things are getting affordable for you, not cheaper in cheaper, but at least you're not paying a huge amount to have those kind of systems. So
yeah.
yeah,
I,
interesting point, and I would love to have more discussion about this. Thank you, Ali. Thank you. It was a great insights that we discussed, and I was to be honest, I can spend 2 3 hours more on discussing the applications and implementations, how we can implement this. Cutting this short, thank you team, thank you Zingfei, thank you Arushi for interesting discussion, thank you Oz, for giving us good pointers. uh, we can have more discussions on this, but now we want to help businesses to implement those solutions. And maybe Oz, if you want to take lead on this and tell us what how we are helping it, and what hotel owners can expect from us.
Thank you, Shiv. Just like you, I could spend a few more hours myself, but we do have to wrap it up. My main message would be we're here to help you. And the important thing is to know where you are in terms of your website, in terms of your booking engine, and the current status of your marketing analytics. Most likely, you are using Google Analytics, and we can give you quickly a very good idea about where you are in terms of the options that we presented today. I think the core message is you may not be able to change the booking engine. We know it's quite difficult to migrate to a new booking engine, so that's not what we're suggesting. What we're saying is let us help you maximize the quality of the data that you're collecting, whether if it's an iframe based booking engine or whether it's a more traditional cross domain based booking engine. We're here to help you. The thing about server side that makes us really excited is it addresses quite a few of the user privacy discussions that we had. The trend is clear, whether it's native browser settings, ad blockers, consent pop-ups. Their user privacy is going to be a major factor going forward, and server-side tracking actually helps you future-proof your marketing analytics. So the best thing to do would be to implement it today, so that you start collecting information and then you can benchmark it with your existing client-side solution. They can work in parallel, no problem. And then when the time comes, you can switch to server side completely. So in that sense, it would be a good investment. And then AI, wow, I mean, that's a whole discussion by itself. As you said, Shiv, the more information, the more data that we're able to collect, the more opportunities there are for AI. But at the same time, my personal feeling is we have to avoid the hype. Let's talk about AI as a way to generate more revenue, decrease your costs, save you some time. Let's have a very good business case before we even discuss AI, because this team is amazing. I know that whatever AI task that we ask them to tackle, they're going to do a great job. But you know what? Sometimes the solution is not AI. They can also build something. The team is capable of building something that doesn't use AI at all, but it solves the problem. So again, what's the pain point? What's keeping up the marketing managers at night, and how we can help them solve those problems? That's what we really focused on.
Thank you, Oz. And just wanted to add here, we like our technical team. They know what they are doing. They understand AWS and Google Cloud in and out. They are certified experts in the domain that they are working on. We love travel. That's why it's a one more part. That's why we enjoy working on the hospitality industry, because uh, we all passionate about traveling and understand these businesses. And that's why it's not just about one time implementation that we are offering, or like we do and go away. We want to be partner as a technical partner of you. Like, it's not we also want to be partner in a way. Let's say if anything happens, if we as a team, because we keep discovering and we keep testing, experimenting in our labs. So if we find anything new in the that could be implemented of in our existing client setup, we would love to just come on a call and show them like this is something you can do it. So it's not like once we implement it and you go, we keep talking to you how we can innovate your business in a more technical point of view. So that's why we say we are passionate and we enjoy this industry. And right now, for the viewers that they are watching, we are offering a 15 minutes of free audit of your website. And we can definitely quickly show you what is failing in your tracking and how you can fix it. So I'll just add a QR code on this website, scan it, take a look to the Plumfind website, what we are doing, and also check out our most recent workshops that we have done. And if you want to, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, so that we are going to have these kind of workshops where we talk about real things. It's not a bookish or a article based things. We show stuff what we are doing. And uh, I think this is in the world where in the YouTube, when you go, there are millions of videos. You might not able to find where people or experts are showing you this is where you are leaking, where you leaking your money. So that's why I enjoy these kind of workshop, because these are more of a real time discussion, this kind of podcast setup. So I really enjoyed today's time. Thank you for your time, team, and thank you for all of your time who have viewed this video and maybe gonna view this video. Subscribe to this channel, and kudos to the Plumfind team to generate that much of progress in terms of the. It is the toughest thing in digital marketing, I would say, because ads management, creative is a separate thing, but collecting the information, because at the end of the day you are paying to platforms just to get the data. At the end, the title is, the tagline is, you're paying to Google, you're paying to Facebook ads to have a better data. So even if you are not getting the right data, what's the point of paying them? Our idea is to just help to get the best output that you are paying for. And cheers for the smarter marketing, stronger data, and more efficient direct bookings. Thank you everyone. Hope you enjoyed this session.